My fellow weebs, I come to you today not as an anime reviewer. I come to you today not as a card game player. I don't even come to you today as a man with a massive hentai collection. I come to you today as a beggar. I am here not to beg for views. I gave up on that a long time ago. I am here to beg for you all to watch Sengoku Youko. That's right. But I am not just begging for my own sake. I am begging for your sake. This is not just another middle of the road, seen it 1,000 times anime. This is not an isekai. This is not a battle shonen. Hey, post audio recording Kev here. Just want to clarify this this series is a battle shonen. That's 100% what it is. I just mean it's not like the modern ones that I don't like very much. You get the point. Let's just continue. This is not even a weird VTuber video where everyone tells me they're great, but honestly, the way VTubers move kind of weird me out, so I don't really like watching them. I mean, I appreciate people for making their passions work and getting that communal experience. It's just this is the way they move. They're just not for me, man. They're just not for me, and I can't really jerk it to the girls if I'm weirded out by the way they move. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting off topic. We should get back on topic. You see, Sengoku Youko is a little bit different from the anime that are coming out right now, where most anime coming out are based on modern manga and video games and things of that nature. Sengoku Youko is actually an adaptation of a manga from like 2008. Yeah, to give you an idea how old this series is and how long ago it came out, this series came out when the video game stuff in SAO was considered new and unique. That's how old this series is. Which, of course, comes with it two caveats. The first is that it doesn't have the advantage of social media hyping up the manga. Series like JJK, Haikyuu, no matter what I think of them, at their core get a huge bump by the fact that if you go on to any Twitter, Instagram, wherever, you will see tons of hype for incredible fights or big matches or even big revelations. You don't have that with this. No one is reading this manga, at least here in the West. So why adapt it? Why bring it to us at all? Because there's something special here. There's something unique here. There's something different. For those of you who don't know, this series is based on a manga by legendary mangaka Satoshi Mizukami. Yeah, I'm totally just reading this off in front of me. He did a lot of critically acclaimed series in this time period. He did this. He did Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, which got an anime adaptation a couple years ago that was absolutely fucking horrendous and worried me we wouldn't see any of his other great works come to us, but here this series is. And whether you want to say it's because the people who grew up with this are now at nostalgia milking age in Japan, or maybe it's because White Fox really sees the merit in bringing this series to us, I think it's worth watching, and unfortunately it really got very little hype and fanfare, at least here in the West, during the winter season, and that's a crying shame. They want to do all three cores of this, and they already skipped this season, which is a little concerning, and looking at the summer season's mal chart, there is not a lot of hype for this. So if you will, allow for me to explain to you why this show is really worth checking out and why you should be excited for more of it to come. First up, let us begin with the premise. So, this series follows four heroes. Jinka, a human who wishes to be like a demon. Tama, a demon who wishes to help humans. Shinsuke, a totally normal samurai boy who in no way, shape, or form will go through very interesting character development that will have you both feel sorry for him and wonder where the hell things are going. And Shakugan. I will say nothing else about this character. This one, you've got to go see for yourselves. But yeah, no, this series follows these characters as they go on various adventures, deal with an evil organization trying to combine humans with demons, and go through a lot of shit. My favorite aspect of this series is the character development. I really like everyone in this show. Everyone has a ton of personality, especially Tama. She's just fucking great. But also, this show is not afraid to go into characters' emotional growth and get into it quickly and really take you to places of vulnerability with them. What's his face? Jinka is not just a mid-2000s edge boy. The series very quickly starts establishing why he is the way he is, where did it come from, and sets you on a path on where it's going and where he will develop from here. Tama feels like more than just the bog standard cute kid girl character who just like yells be positive and happy at everybody. I already hinted at Shinsuke, and yeah, the Shakugan stuff, you gotta see it to believe it. But this is really just a strong showing of characters. They also have very strong chemistry with each other. At any point, a scene could just be about just the two of anyone talking, and you will be 100% invested in what is going on. I love that. When a show can just give you a likable band of characters, nothing can be going on with them, and you're more compelled here than you are in any big epic battle shonen moment. This is not a series meant to have blank characters for you to just sort of imagine yourself as, who just exist to be in an isekai fantasy world or a generic battle shonen world. This is a very well fleshed out world with very well fleshed out characters who are all far from perfect people, and you get to see how that conflict goes on for each of them, both internally and externally. Let's talk about the world itself for a minute, shall we? Are you getting tired of video game logic running all your fucking anime? So am I. That's why in these last several anime reviews, I try to talk about shows that move away from this. But this show not only has nothing to do with video game logic, it honestly kind of returns you to a much simpler time where shows had to build their logic and their sense of magic and power scaling from the fucking ground up. They never use phrases like mana in this. There's never any reliance on existing fantasy or anything like that at all. The world building is all organic, it is natural, and it is done as you learn more about the magic system and how all the supernatural creatures interact with the world around them. It feels so crazy that this very what feels like should be a standard element of world building is so absent nowadays, but to see it feel so flawless and natural here is really nice to see. As for the fights themselves, they're a lot of fun. Fights in this show always make sure to include a lot of different elements, making everything feel unique to each individual encounter, but also figuring out how to keep the internal logic of everyone's styles going throughout. Characters get all your bog standard stuff like power-ups and new abilities and learn new tricks, but there is a very natural feel to it as everyone just progresses and gets stronger with each encounter and each battle. The bad guys are also very interesting. We're learning more about them as the series goes, and especially towards the end there, you learn some things that really have you questioning where things are going in all the right ways. Now, we should probably talk about some of the negatives. Really don't have a lot. If I were to pick one big gripe, and I don't even know how much of a gripe this is, the show's visual style is a little plain and by the numbers, and I think this might have hurt it. While the animation can be very strong in fights, and also the comedy, oh god, the fucking comedy in the show is great. I will say that the attempt to make it look and feel kind of mid-2000s-y, like when the manga came out, does make it feel a little plain sometimes to look at. But when it's time for things to be cool and fun, it knows how to do that and get to it right. This is all in all a series that I enjoyed a lot. It really just had everything I'm looking for these days. Good characters, fun, interesting world, and wanting to feel unique. And I would love for everyone to give this show just a shot. Just try it. Try and move away from more generic things and give something a little more unique a try. And that's all I'm asking. But did you give it a try? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts about this series. Have you seen it? Do you want more older manga to get their adaptations that they just never got back in the day? Tell me about all that below. And as always, click the like, subscribe, and hopefully join me for more discussions about this great show in the future.